What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the life of Jean-Michel Basquiat and his journey as an artist. Basquiat's early life. Jean-Michel Basquiat was born on December 22nd, 1960 in Brooklyn, New York. He was the second of four children born to Gerald Basquiat, who was a Haitian immigrant, and Mathilde Basquiat, who was of Puerto Rican descent. Jean-Michel's upbringing in New York heavily influenced his cultural identity and artistic style. He attended City As School, which is shown in this picture right here, an alternative high school in Manhattan, and this is where he met Al Diaz. Al Diaz was an artist and soon became friends with Basquiat, shaping his early artistic interests. Over here, here's Al Diaz, and here are his parents, Gerald and Mathilde. Artistic beginnings. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Basquiat first gained recognition as a street artist in New York City under the tag SAMO, which combined societal commentary with poetic and enigmatic statements. He collaborated with his friend Al Diaz to spray paint these messages all around downtown Manhattan. These are some of his first artworks that he made with graffiti, SAMO, and he collaborated with Al Diaz on many of these. All right, next slide. Transition to painting. By the early 1980s, Basquiat started moving from making street art to drawing and painting. He kept his same style of making big impressions with colors, brushwork, and symbols. Basquiat had a very raw and energetic energy to his artwork, and he gained lots of attention because of this. In 1981, his work was featured in the New York/New Wave exhibition, marking his formal entry into the art scene. With all of his success, some critics believed that his work was not valuable at all, calling Basquiat a talentless hustler and ignorant about art. This picture right here was what was his exhibition at the New York/New Wave, and here was one of his first artworks that he made. Cultural and societal context. Growing up in Brooklyn caused Basquiat to witness racial tensions and inequalities from a very young age. In his works, he highlighted the societal issues such as power dynamics, race, and cultural heritage with the use of symbols and figures. This can be seen with his African masks, crowns, and references to historical figures. The crown. Basquiat was well known for using a crown motif in many of his earlier works as an artist. This was his way of celebrating Black people as a majestic royalty or deeming them as saints. Artist Francisco Clemente described it as, Jean-Michel's crown has three peaks for his three royal lineages, the poet, the musician, the great boxing champion. Jean measured his skill against all he deemed strong, without prejudice as to their taste or age. Key artworks. Irony of a Negro Policeman. In this painting, Basquiat depicted how ironic he found it that any African American would be a policeman, working to enforce rules that were meant to enslave themselves. The figure in the picture represents the totalitarian Black mask, with the mask-like face wearing a hat that resembles a cage. The picture was created in 1981 and was sold in 2012 for $12.6 million. The field next to the other road. This piece demonstrates the meaning between a man and a beast and was one of Basquiat's earliest monumental pieces, measuring over 13 feet wide. He created the painting while on a trip to Modena, Italy for his first solo exhibition in Europe. It was created in 1981 and was sold for $37.1 million in 2015. Untitled Skull. In this piece, Basquiat's unique technique and theme of Black cultural identity reclamation are highlighted. With this piece being untitled, it leaves an open interpretation for viewers. The painting was made in 1982 and was sold in 2017 for $110.5 million. Making it one of the most expensive artworks ever sold in the world. Collaborations and relationships with Keith Haring. Basquiat and Keith were both prominent figures in the artwork during the 1980s, and they had a very close friendship at the time. They would often collaborate on artworks such as paintings and drawings, and they shared similar concerns about societal issues in the world. Andy Warhol. Basquiat and Warhol first met in the 1980s, and they quickly developed a mutual admiration for each other's work. The collaboration between Basquiat and Warhol began in 1983 when they started working on a series of paintings together. The mix of Basquiat's style, along with Warhol's, created something the world has never seen before. Here's the self-portrait that Basquiat made of him and Andy Warhol. And here's them together. Personal issues in his life. Basquiat had many personal issues in his life that he hid from the public. His issues became worse as his popularity grew, and many of his close friends became increasingly concerned about his excessive drug use. He would become very paranoid and isolate himself for long amounts of time. In an attempt to kick his addiction, he left New York and traveled to Hawaii in 1988 for a few months. Upon his return, he claimed to be sober, but this was not the case at all. His tragic death. Basquiat died at the age of 27 on August 12, 1988 from an overdose. His passing had a huge impact on the art world, and he will forever be remembered by many. Even though his career was short, he still made one of the largest contributions to contemporary art. Critical analysis. Jean-Michel Basquiat's artwork challenges societal norms because of how strong of a message can be spread from them. His impact has extended to fashion, music, pop culture, and more. His work will never be forgotten, and he will forever be a star. Alright, so now that is all that I have today for Jean-Michel Basquiat. Hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, and that is his life and journey as an artist, and I will see you all in the next video.